many times the night before or even that morning, and then you just get to play and bounce off the person.
Yeah.
I think for me, what I realized, you guys also never had all the stuff that happened before. It doesn't exist in the show.
You never see it.
So when we first meet, you're already in like a pretty bad place, and then it just goes up and down, up and down. So I feel like it would have been easier had we seen you guys come together, the initial thing, all that stuff. But
yeah,
we didn't
to
get
a
to
degree,
see any
I
of
think.
that.
Right.
So you guys that just has to exist somewhere in your head, and then you just dive right
You
in.
gotta
Yeah.
just
can't be
create it.
easy.
I don't know. Acting is so weird, man. I
It's
swear.
so much. Like
the things that we have to do to like you just said, create something in your head to like be like, oh, I did have relations with this girl 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
Whatever.
And even the relations that we had, it could be so different than what I was thinking. So if you and I come in with like, well, this is my thought on how I met you.
And I'm like, this is my thought on how I met you.
Then it clashes.
So you didn't do any of that.
We didn't do none of that.
No,
It was-
I mean, the first time we met, it was the night of the party. And I think I was a little bit more closed off because I didn't know how much we'd be seeing you,
He
to be honest.
was close. I'll never forget when I first met Michael. I was in the makeup trailer and everyone's like, oh my God, like, have you met Michael? And I was like, no, like, hey. And he was like, oh, hey, how you doing? And I was like, I said, oh, this is going to be a rocky road. But then when we met at the party, it was just like, you weren't closed off in a way that was like, you know, we're never gonna, but it was very much so like, oh, hey, like, because we didn't know how long I was gonna be on. But then, like, once we like clicked, it was like, okay, cool.
All right, yeah, we're gonna be pals.
Yeah, like it was just like it just flowed, and it just made what leads up much more easier to kind of like gather and like work together on building it. Like that was the most important thing.
I agree
You
with
know, period.
Yeah.
Do you think chemistry is only something that it's either there or it isn't, or do you think it can be created? Chemistry between two actors. Like, can it be something that's worked on, or do you think it's you either have it or you
Well, I think it can be worked on. Like, I think, for instance, you and I have good chemistry because
don't? I disagree.
only because we spend ample amounts of time together.
Yeah, I mean, our relationship is very similar to Spencer and Jordan's
Yeah.
in real life, which makes acting it very easy.
Very much so. And even with Jeff, like, we don't spend a lot of time outside of work together, but we've gone out a couple times
Right.
and to get drinks. And
Sorry.
and
Petty.
yeah, I think it's helped. Not that our chemistry wasn't good before, but I think that if you hang out with the person, like if I only
Yeah.
did scenes with you on Monday through Friday and I didn't see you ever again, except at work, I think it would make it harder to have that chemistry.
Right.
I don't know, maybe.
I mean, I feel like when I think of chemistry, first off, I know that as an actor, and I'm pretty sure you guys can attest to this, or even just as a person who watches movies, you can always tell when people are like, oh, they wasn't really, like, you could just see that they didn't have chemistry, whether it be they liked each other or, like, some people can really fake it. And then others, you're kind of like, you are kind of like more brother and sister than boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, you know what I mean? At least I can speak for myself when I say that. I feel like depending on what the role requires, what the relationship requires, because you can't fake. Well, I'm lying because that's acting, but
So it's all fake.
it's right. It's all fake. What am I talking about? But like, I just feel like if you can fake chemistry, yes, you can.
You can.
But I'm just thinking as far as like, because you and I don't work a lot. We
No.
barely work together.
Yeah.
We've
Have you ever
never.
had a
We've
scene
never.
together?
No.
I don't think your
Oh
characters
yes.
have met. You've maybe seen her, but I don't think you guys
Yeah,
have met.
We've
We've probably
never-
been in the same scene, but never.
Yeah,
really
but
interacted.
never
Yeah.
directly. But I feel as though you and I mesh enough. I mean, I'm here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we mesh enough to where it's like, this doesn't have to be faked. It's still
Yeah.
good energy. But I feel like for something that like me and Mike have to do, I would want there to be good chemistry
Yeah.
because not even just for the show, but for the experience. Like,
Yeah. So what happens when there's not? Like, let's say you came into the makeup training and it was like, oh, have you met Mike? And he was like, hey, Mike, and he just ignored you. He just put his headphones.
Oh yeah, how hard? I think we've had this conversation.
We have.
How hard would it be for you if I was just totally closed off and didn't talk to you besides rehearsal and shooting?
Right. I mean, I think that has a lot to do with growth and maturity as an artist. Because if this was me maybe 5-6 years ago, almost 10 years ago, with this same type of role, and you're counting to see how old I would be 10 years ago, that's fine. I'd still be young. But if this was me 10 years ago and you were not nice to me, it probably would have affected my work.
Yes, you told me that.
I would have. Oh yeah, I did tell you. It would have affected my work. But when you take the personal out of it and just sometimes it is just a job. Sometimes it is just a role and opportunity. Unfortunately, like I think you guys said in particular is a very special set because everyone is so positive and has good energy. But there are countless sets who are not like that. You know what I mean? So it's like it's very rewarding when you actually like the people that you're working with, even regular jobs. Liking your boss, liking your like that's not a typical thing. So it's kind of like if it just doesn't work, you have to decide as an artist, like, am I going to allow my emotions to kind of get into it, or am I just going to do the work, serve the purpose of the role, and do my job? But it sucks if it has to be like that,
I feel
obviously.
like it wouldn't be very fun.
No.
I don't think I'd have that much fun if I didn't like my castmates.
Yeah. I agree.
Would you? I mean, you'd still have fun because you're working, but like, imagine every single time,
Like if we all didn't
every
get
single
on.
cut.
Like, imagine if none of you guys got along. Like, imagine if all of you guys were just like, I'm the star, I'm the
I mean,
star.
it's kind of lucky that because we're all very different. We all have very different personalities, but we
Y'all
all,
do.
but we all,
Y'all do. But y'all mesh.
but we all get on. But yeah, it'd be a really different set if we all like didn't like.
We all
each
came back to our chairs and just didn't
Yeah,
converse.
Like,
That'd
that
be
would
weird.
be crazy.
and you're one of those people that thinks it's all down to like astrology and shit. Right?
I am. I am. I love talking about stuff like that. It's just so fun. It's like a conversation
Do you believe, okay, let me ask you this. Do you believe it's genuine that because I'm a Pisces, I act a certain way because of the star? Or do you think that that's an excuse?
You look like, yeah, let me see this answer.
We were just talking about this.
Okay. I'm a Pisces. You know that.
We are Pisces. Correct.
Yes, we are Pisces. What are you again? Capricorn?
Sagittarius.
He's Daniel.
What? What's it? Okay.
Yeah,
What
we
does
were
that-
just talking about that.
And I'd back it up.
What does that mean?
I
She
mean,
said,
no, because my brother's Sagittarius. My grandpa's Sagittarius. One of my best friends from college is a Sagittarius. I mean, first off, I think it's all layered. Obviously, everyone is nice to a degree. Everyone's mean to a degree. Like, you know what I mean? But there are just certain traits that certain Piscean people have that are very like, oh,
Did you say Piscean?
yeah,
Yeah, Mike.
that's a word.
Shut up. Go on, sorry.
That's a
Piscean.
word.
I've never heard of that.
Aqua-
That's cool.
I know
Aquarian?
Piscean, maybe.
Like living in an aquarium with an N instead of an M? Wild.
Oh, I just
Never mind.
Go on. Go on.
What was she saying?
But no, I think it's all relevant. I think it's all relevant. I think the time that we were born has everything to like. I think everything. It just has everything to do with everything. Like,
Okay, so to tell me what am I like, and I'll tell you from right if you're right or wrong. As a Sagittarius, what can you
Sag,
what can you tell about me from being a Sagittarius?
hardworking.
Okay,
Nah.
but so my friend, who's not gonna say they're hardworking?
A lot of people.
No, but no.
A lot of
people aren't hardworking, but most people are gonna say they're hardworking, even if they're
That
not.
is not true.
I
Because my
know-
issue with star signs is a lot of them they're usually positive. So people are more inclined to agree. Like if you say, "Oh, you're a Sagittarius," that means you're hardworking. You're you're amazing in
You're
bed.
honest.
You're honest. You're this.
Actually, it's amazing. But it's
Obviously-
supposed to be Scorpio, not
obviously-
Sagittarius.
yeah. Obviously.
Why do you know that off the top of your head?
I'm just saying.
But I'm
these
just
are
saying, it's
things
the way
that have been
it's
said.
written. If you read that stuff in magazines, it's most of the time it's like, "Oh, you're hardworking." Maybe
You're
a
like
bit-
you're saying it's generic stuff.
a little bit.
Well, that's the thing, but that's why I said it's also fun.
Like, tell me something really negative about Sagittarius.
Go.
I don't have any that I've heard
Yeah.
that their mystery can sometimes be their downfall.
That's kind of positive.
That makes
That's
me, that
kind of
makes me
sexy
want
to
to
me.
go.
That's like, ooh. That makes it like, ooh.
Oh.
But see, my thing is, what if someone is so mysterious to the point where they don't let you in?
Yeah, 100.
That's not sexy.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the way it's the way. I'm just saying the way it's said, the way that's written.
No,
it's
I get
still
it.
sort of positive. So you can see some people saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a little bit like that."
Right. It could be positive. I think it's positive depending on who's receiving it.
Like if you say, "Oh, more Sagittariuses than anyone else are serial killers," then it might be like, "Oh,
then
okay,
But
that's
my thing is,
different.
I think it just depends on like how it's affecting the other person.
Okay,
I am like an open book. But so what is I am.
but
an
Mike's
open
not, and you're both Pisces.
Boom.
book. However,
Yes, and however.
I mean, I've also. You're just trying to prove me wrong.
I'm just, yeah.
I get what both of y'all are saying though. I just think it's so fun. Like,
Yeah, and look, and that's
do
fine.
you have the pattern? Did I get you on the pattern?
What do you mean?
No, he's not on the
What's the
pattern.
pattern?
Pattern
Oh,
is
the
an
app
app.
thing.
The
I'd
pattern
since-
isn't. No, it's not acting.
It's an app, right?
app.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the pattern's an app,
I
and
don't
it's
have
like,
it anymore.
wow.
I didn't want to hear about my future
Oh, that's what it does. It tells you about your future.
Well,
because of your sign in the date.
it's
I
like your
see.
birthday.
But-
It's weirdly accurate. No.
Go on with what you were saying.
Yes or
about-
no? Is it weirdly accurate to the point where you deleted it because you were scared?
No, I wasn't scared.
I wasn't scared.
Part of it was like, oh, I could see that happening. The other half was like, I don't want to think about that. So, then,
So you
like,
deleted it.
Did he say something bad?
He was like, you could be experiencing whatever soon. And I
No,
don't-
I feel that,
don't-
though.
But then the thing with that is, if you say something, you're gonna subconsciously think about it,
That is true. And then you're
and you're gonna be
ultimately
like, oh well, I'm gonna push because this thing said that I was gonna have a bad week or whatever. I'm gonna have a bad week, unless you trick yourself to not. But that's just what the subconscious does.
I feel that.
But please
Yeah.
do continue on what you were saying about Pisces and the question Daniel asked you, because I'm curious.
What
We're
was the
different.
question?
I'm closed off. You're not.
Oh yeah. But I've told you that as I've gotten older, I have become more internal. So I don't think that I don't think that you would not have a moment where you would become more open, is what I'm saying. I think it's a cycle.
Yes.
And yes, all of us go through cycles, yes. But Pisces,
Oh, so he might become more open in time.
I think so, yeah. I mean,
I'm
because
gonna monitor that. I'm gonna.
no, please watch, because
Like a flower?
I just don't. Yeah, I don't think that. I think that everyone's cycle, like, because you live and you learn so much to the point where it does nothing but like force you to make certain shifts in your life, certain transitions in your life. So if you're always so closed off, and then one day you have this experience, I'm not even talking about you, but I'm just saying, like, if someone's super closed off and then one day they experience something because they were open and they had that door opened to this new world, it's like, why wouldn't they want to keep doing that if they see the repercussions? Could be positive or negative, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone.
I guess you are a handful of years older than me, so that makes sense.
Wow.
You've had more experiences.
When did you start opening up?
No, I started closing off.
Oh, you went backwards.
Yeah, I went backwards, yeah. Or not backwards, but the other direction. I've always been extremely like, oh my God, you're my friend. I used to throw that word out all the time. Friend. But interestingly enough, I don't throw out love. Well, no, I throw out love like that. But like, I don't tell everyone I love them. You know
Is
what I
that
mean?
a self-preservation thing? Like you're trying to protect your
Now
own-
it is. Yeah. Now it is. Because I've had experiences with people, and again, not pointing any fingers, but just like, just life lessons that I've experienced with people that have taught me just when to throw, these words out, like friend and trust, and you know what I mean? Like, we have to go through these things, and now I'm becoming more internal and more reflective on a lot, starting with myself.
So when would like, was that like when you was a teenager? Did that start happening once you hit like your 20s?
Yeah, I feel like that started happening like towards the end of high school and into college, because college years, that's like when you actually are in a place where you are like, okay, I can make my own decisions, period.
You have no bedtime.
Yeah, you have no bedtime. You have no one like kind of like
That was my big thing.
my big thing was bedtime, when and how long I could use my phone, and not
Really?
yes,
You could-
like. No, I could use my phone, but my mom like had curfews on me, like 10 o'clock, phone's off, and I was like,
Good,
all
though.
right,
That's,
and I never.
That's good though.
That
I
is
think
good.
it is. Looking
mean,
back, I'm like, I'm gonna do that with my kids.
Yeah, of course, but like that was my big thing. Like, being in college allowed me to also not answer to anyone. Like I've always felt like I had to answer to someone. Like and even now I'm learning how to not be bothered when someone asks, well, why are you doing that? Because sometimes people really want to know. Like sometimes people are really curious.
As opposed to mom being like, well, why are you going out?
Yeah. Or like, who are you going with?
Right.
Or not even mom, but just anyone. It could be
Right.
anybody. Like,
Right.
because most of the time, like, and what I had to learn and shift from is that sometimes when people are asking you why, it's because they're trying to alter your destination. But then you have some people that are asking why because they're very curious and it could help them and inspire them or direct them. So I'm trying to learn how to decipher when someone's really asking why I'm doing something because they really want to know versus trying to like switch up what I got going on. You know what I mean? And again, this is not everyone. Like, not everyone has that intention. But
My biggest, I didn't go to college. I went to theatre school, but it was still leaving home. And then I moved to London and stuff. My biggest thing was just doing my own laundry. That was a trip.
You didn't do your own laundry in high
I mean,
school?
I did, but like with my mother's supervision. But now I'm like, I'm doing it. And
now
I'm
you're a pro.
and, like, I got so sick.
No. Let me tell you something
Separating
funny.
darks from light.
Yo,
Let me
I
tell
got
you-
so sick of shrinking my underwear. Like,
Let me tell you
it's
something
the
funny.
worst.
Wearing a thong, Daniel.
And to this day, there's sometimes where I'll call my mom like, Mom, why are my clothes getting washed up? And she'll be like, walk me through what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, so I do this, and that. All right, so that part, don't do that.
I
this.
could picture
and it's
that.
just not this. Yeah,
Probably about 3 months ago, he asked me what dryer sheets were.
that might be an American thing.
Really?
Though. I don't know if you have dry. If my mom's watching this, she's
And I was like, here, just take mine. I have extra. And he was like, okay, cool. I was like, you just throw them in the dryer when you dry your clothes.
So wait, what did
look,
you guys
they're
not
clean.
use trash
That's
sheets?
all that's important.
That
is important.
That's true.
It's clean.
I feel like maybe we have. Mom, I'm sorry. Because I'm embarrassing the hell out of you right now. But like, I don't know.
What did you guys use?
I feel like, I don't know. The dry sheets seem like that's like fancy laundry to me.
dryer sheets.
I really don't even know the static. It's like erases static, and I don't really know.
This is the thing.
exactly
You
what they
don't
do.
right. Daniel's like, what? I don't need that. Like, you don't need a dryer sheet.
As in like static, as in so I could get like shocked by my clothes. That's never happened.
So I mean, I've always used dryer sheets, but I only use dryer sheets because I saw it being used
Me
as a
too,
kid. It's
me
not like
too.
I even. Honestly, I didn't
I
know
never
that
sat
it was
down
for
and-
static until just now. Honestly, I thought
honestly
it was.
don't know if it is for static. I could be talking out of my ass.
We don't
what that
even
is?
know what
You
we're
know what
talking
that
about.
is? Capitalism. It's just trying to get you to spend more money
That is very, and we do
on
it,
nonsense.
and we
Just
do
put
it.
them in the washing machine
And
get
hang them on a
and
line.
Hang them on a line.
Oh my god.
And that's it.
I
That's
would
all you
actually
really-
love to do that. I would do that. If I didn't
That's
have to
all
worry about
you
people
really
stealing
do.
my clothes, I would do that. I would. With a little.
Do you think you are naturally? This is a violent segue. Do you think you
Violent segue.
I love that.
Do you think you're naturally introverted or extroverted?
Ooh, that's a good ass question.
Yeah.
I love talks like this. Was it a question for me or was it for?
I'm gonna send it to Mike after too.
I really have to think about this
Because I was talking to my therapist told me how she defines introverts and extroverts.
Congrats on having a therapist. I think it's amazing. when
Thank you.
I want
And she
one.
said, I'm paraphrasing the hell out of this, but she said, introverts, everyone has like a battery, a battery, and
Battery.
and introverts they every time they go out and like they're in like big crowds, say they go to like a sporting event or the mall or something, and they have like it depletes their battery a little bit. And when it hits 0, they have to go and be with themselves to recharge. Whereas extroverts, being around in those big crowds and being around people, that's what recharges their battery. And then when it's full, then they can go and be by themselves and have their own time. And she said that's how she kind of like defines it. So yeah, what would you say you are by that? We just had this conversation, that's why I'm just curious.
I mean, I would say that I'm like how I was born. I think I was born an extrovert. I really do, because even though I do value like being alone and like, you know what I mean, being in my own space, more energy, like I love being around people. I love meeting people. I love being around just energy. And
Right.
if we're talking about that battery, battery, if we're talking about that battery, I feel the most like myself when I'm out.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Okay.
I really do. Although, again, like I said, I value being alone, but I had to learn how to value that. Like, even now, there are certain things that I'm like, I will not do by myself, but I want to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
So, like, going to the movies by myself was never a thing.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
fun.
it's so fun. Not only is it fun that
It's like
that
a
no
big deal
one's
for some people going to the movies by themselves.
Well, even
It is.
going
like
to
having to
dinner
go by
alone.
yourself.
Or just doing it. A lot of people just are like, no, like you can't go to the movies by
No,
yourself.
I used to never.
That's
And then
interesting.
how you said dinner, I would never go to dinner by myself. But sometimes, like if I'm hungry and it's like I ain't got nobody to go with, like I'm not about to sit and go through my phone, like you know what I mean. So, I mean, I will go to lunch or something by myself. But there's just certain things that I'm like, I can't do that by myself. Like I wouldn't want to. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I didn't think about the battery thing, but that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Because if I spend too much time by myself,
Then you feel depleted,
I feel depleted, and
you
I
have to
feel
go out and reach it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
feel
what
in
it
my
is.
head.
Introverted extrovert.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's exactly. Yeah. What about you?
That's how I define myself as well, as an introverted extrovert. Excuse me. I don't necessarily recharge by going out, but if I have been in my apartment for 5 days straight and haven't left, fourth day I'm still sitting pretty. Fifth day comes around and I'm like, all right, I should probably get out and do something, because you do feel that. But it's more so of a sense of stir crazy, or you're like you've been nesting in a place for so long. So you got to get out and take a walk. But I don't ever like feel the need to go to a club or a bar,
Yeah.
unless my friends are saying, "Hey, let's go do this." But it's never like my idea to be like, "Hey, do you want to go
Yeah.
to help?"
Yeah. We don't do anything because I'm usually at Mike's apartment on the weekends.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we don't do anything.
But see, here's I
It's
want you
very
to,
bad. Like we've been in LA for 2 years now, and we haven't really done. We've never been to the Hollywood sign
But
together.
see, that's
You
the
know, it's-
base of you guys'
bad.
relationship,
Yeah.
though. I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not. It's
But what would you say
What would you
you
say
are?
you
And then
are?
I have another question after that.
Dun-dun-dun.
I think I'm an introvert.
I could see that.
Yeah.
You have no extrovert in you at all.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think I have. If it is, it's a little bit. It's a small amount.
Out of 10.
Yeah.
1 out of 10.
Yeah. Like I think I'm very naturally introverted. I think based on her definition, I think going out, big things, big like when we do like events or we do like publicity or we do like, or I'm around a lot of people. Eventually I do start to feel drained, and then going home or being by myself or being like, that's why I've always got my headphones in, and just being in my own space does recharge me. So by that definition, I think I'm introverted.
So then
Yeah.
for you both to be introverted and you're an introverted extrovert, do you think that your choice to be an actor, how do you guys handle knowing that once you sign up for this and then once you even get to a certain point in your career, it's like how much of it is I have to suck it up and deal with the life that I chose, and then how much of it is no, I'm still going to be introverted but still do my job very well, and if people want to praise me, great, but that doesn't mean I have to be around it.
Well, I mean, for me, that's because that all that stuff wasn't what I was thinking about when I got into acting. And when you go to theater school, they deliberately don't even like that. You can't even get headshots until your third year. Like no one's even really allowed to see you perform outside of the people in your school until your third year, and you're performing for agents and stuff, because they want you to just be focused on
the
craft of it and stuff. So for me, like my initial draw to acting was the story itself. It wasn't about having fans or being in the public eye.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You kind of knew that like that's a possibility. You're not like unexposed to what happens, but that's not where your focus is. So that's definitely wasn't where my focus was until it happened. So I think it helps. I think actors can be either, for sure. But like I think for me, being so internal and being so comfortable with my and being able to enjoy my own space is good, because that's how you learn. That's how I learn my lines. So like I'm comfortable by myself, and it definitely helps me. And also I think introverted people tend to be very empathetic too. And I think that definitely helps in acting, being able to like feel what other people are feeling, or be able to like relate to and connect to people on like a deeper way, which I think helps if you're an internal person. Definitely helps with acting, for sure. If you're playing someone that's not you, and you have to feel, or at least make it look like you're feeling what they're feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
Mike?
That's good.
That was.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
No, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, didn't go into acting with the intention of being famous. I just kind of went into it because it was fun. And then, you know, and it wasn't until I got the role, and then we actually went to Warner Brothers training when we got signed up, when we got picked up, excuse me. It wasn't until then I was like, didn't realize the possibility of how many eyes could be on us. Like whenever the girl from Riverdale came in and started telling us her stories and like what she does, and it was it was a lot. I think it's actually helpful for me because it keeps me out of trouble. Because instead of wanting to go out and, you know, if that was that pure extrovert and, you know, go to the clubs and go out and just be out and about, I think that would make it harder for me to focus on filming. Whereas now I don't really go out unless it's like a long weekend. I try to stay inside.
Right.
And just stay and hang out with Daniel.
Right.
And play video games.
That's amazing, though.
Read the script.
I think it's interesting because I'm going to touch points on both of y'all. I think it's incredible that you said, like, when you went to school, y'all didn't focus on that. And I feel like that's a huge difference between, like, there's always this talk about the UK and the US. Like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? But I love that. I feel like in LA especially, everyone comes here to be a star, and like, you know, they want to reap the benefits and this and that. And
oh, really?
They want to, oh yeah, like LA, and I can say that because I'm from here. But yeah, LA it's such a town, man. Like it really is La La Land. Like it's a fantastic city, but you can get so lost in it if you're not grounded. Like, and I've seen it. I've had friends who have moved here and they start one way and end on a whole nother note. And it's crazy because when you don't have that grounding, especially coming to a city like this, to do what we do, it's a roller coaster. And if you're not like solid in who you are or like what you want, it can be tough. So I think it's great that you, coming from a whole nother place, like we're able to train in a way that's like, if I get fame, great, but that's not why I'm doing it. And a lot of people come here, not everyone, but you know, a vast majority of people come to LA to be stars. Like I know me myself, I have always wanted to be, like, to do this. I've always wanted to be this person. You know what I mean? Like I've always wanted to be, I wouldn't say famous because fame it's not real. You know what I mean? But I've always wanted to be known and respected for like my work and what it is that I do. So I think it's interesting when I meet actors who are like, yeah, I never wanted this, because those are the ones who typically are like, they love what they do and they only solely focus on that. So I just think it's cool how, you know, that is what you guys are doing, but that's not necessarily, you're not trying to reap anything out of it except the love for the work.
Right.
You know, like it's just cool. I think it's great.